Welcome to my channel, Homeridge Studio. I'm Cheryl. If you're a return subscriber, I want to thank you. I really appreciate you. And if you're not a subscriber, just consider subscribing or try it. I have a bunch of really great, cool things coming up and more Christmas videos. And with all that being said, I have a lot to share with you, so let's get started. This is the first project, and this is a snowflake picture frame. And here's all the stuff you're going to need. First, a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like, and a Christmas snowflake or a snowflake, 3 picture frames, any kind of word. I'm using that blessed ornament sign, some glitter of your choice. You can get it at Walmart. That stuff I got at Walmart. It's really nice. Or snowflakes and white chalk paint. And you can also get glitter from the Dollar Tree. I removed the top piece and I didn't put wood glue in the top there, and I should have. So it's all painted and I only put one coat on, and I painted both sides because you're going to see both sides. And now I'm just going to Mod Podge in these various locations here. Not the whole thing, just the tips, so we can put, I used this snow, I didn't use the glitter, but you can use whatever you want. You can use colored glitter or iridescent, silver gold, whatever works for you, whatever color picture frames. I know the Dollar Tree has some really pretty gold frames, so this would be pretty with gold glitter on it and maybe those gold frames. These are a 4x6 frame, and just remove the back pieces off of it and position it so that the snowflake is just touching the outside of the frame. I'm showing you here that I'm hot gluing it, and hot glue does not work. So you're going to want to do some kind of a super glue or Gorilla Glue E6000, something like that, and let it sit overnight. I just took a word and put blessed. You can put family on there or whatever. And I really struggled with this ornament. It is just totaled. I just tore it all apart. Never to be used again. And then I have those little snowflakes from the Dollar Tree, those little wood ones. And I just painted them white and dipped them in the glitter. And there you have it. You can put the hanger back in and hang it on the wall. Or you can put it kind of standing up against something. Anyway, this is the next piece I'm going to make, and it's really simple. That's a thrifted picture frame. Let me try that again. It's a thrifted picture frame, and I paid $1 for it. And I just took this really beautiful piece of scrap paper, and it's either from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I think from Michael's, but any picture that you like will do. Cut it, pop it in the frame. You can use ribbon, you can use an ornament, you can use greenery to put on top. I just pulled the greenery off this ornament that says peace on it. And I have all this ribbon that I found at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, and it's a beautiful ribbon. It was not cheap. I think it was like $10 for the whole thing, maybe $8, but it was some really unique, pretty ribbon, so I picked it up. I splurged, but the Dollar Tree has a really pretty ribbon too. And I'm just dovetailing the ends here. And then hot glue that on, and here's another piece of ribbon that I'm just going to cut out the words peace, and I'm going to glue that in the middle, and I'm going to stick some greenery in there and a couple of pine cones. And this is what it looks like. And this is what it looks like next to, on my table, next to some greenery and a deer, wooden deer. This is the next project we're making. It's a hanging snowflake in a lighted box. So these are from the Dollar Tree, and of course they have other frames, and you can make these bigger too. They would look really cool bigger. We need some snowflakes and some bells and some glitter and paint, Mod Podge. This is floral wire and some fairy lights. And I say fairy lights and not the black lights with the black cord, I should say. The white lights with the black cord, because you'll be able to see the cord. So anyway, just I took some white chalk paint and I had to water mine down because mine is kind of dried out. And I'm painting these snowflakes, and I'm only painting them on one side because you're not going to see them on the other side. And I believe I give it one coat, maybe two. It doesn't matter really, because we're going to be dipping it into that iridescent glitter. And I have these 4 picture frames, and I'm taking everything out of it. And be careful because that glass is really thin. And be careful taking these little pieces out too. You want to kind of hold that frame down while you pull them out so it doesn't crack the frame. And take the glass out as soon as you can too, so it doesn't break. Clean it up pretty good and hot glue it back in. Do that to all 4. And now I'm going to glue those snowflakes together. So make sure that the hole on the top of the snowflake is glued up precisely with the other hole on the top of the snowflake. I glued those little snowflakes in the center. And then I rubbed on Mod Podge and then sprinkled it with some glitter, a good amount of glitter. And now we're going to glue the frames together. So see how the frame is on the inside? You're going to want to make them exactly the same. So the frame on the left is on the outside, the frame on the right is also on the outside. So it's completely square. And these are some glitter from the Dollar Tree. You can put pearls, you can put jewels, you can put whatever you want. I just put a little, it's like a little glittery star that came in a pack of gold and silver glitter. And I'm just gluing one on both sides. And that was a bell, and I glued a bell on both sides. And that's floral wire. And I got that at Joann Fabrics at the end of the season last year. It was like $2 or something. I just like the color of it. And I was going to wire it from one side to the other, but the wire wouldn't hold with the hot glue. And so I have this really pretty ribbon that I found from Marshall's, yeah. And it's actually white and it's outlined in silver. It's really pretty. So I just glued that across the top in a crisscross section. So I'll show you right here. I don't know what I'm doing there. I guess I went off screen for a minute, but anyway, I'm trying to figure out how to get this to hang. And so I put the other one on top and I glued it and I put the ornament on first. and I did it crooked here, but I had to go back and fix it. And these balls that I'm gluing on, they're the white iridescent vase filler from the Dollar Tree, but I swapped them out actually for silver ones because I thought it would look prettier, and it does. And in the middle there, I took actually one of those vase filler snowflakes, a silver one, and I glued it on top of the middle there. And that's kind of what it looks like, but I'm not finished with this and I lost the footage. So I'm extending this to tell you what I did with it. So you can see the snowflake on top in the middle and the 4 silver balls. I put a piece of felt on the bottom and I hot glued it. And then I took the fairy lights, and not the ones with the black cording, but the fairy lights with the real thin like silver or gold cording, and I taped them to the bottom of that felt. Then I took the silver glitter, and it's more chunky silver glitter, and I sprinkled it on the inside, and the silver balls vase filler, I put that in the middle, and it's actually prettier than what this picture looks. But I was thinking if you could make them like tall, like bigger, like 11 by 14 or something, you can flank them on the mantle and it would look beautiful. Anyway, on to the next project. And this is a hanging burlap bag. And I got these, they were $4 a piece. They're literally present bags, and they're from Dollar General. And I'm going to use that Santa Claus one. And that ribbon is from Michael's, and it's just a bunch of different ribbon pieces that are all together for like $8 or something. And these wood pieces here are from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to stain them with the Waverly Antique stain. So I just brushed it on generously, and then I took a baby wipe and I'm wiping it off. And I'm doing that on both sides and on the top and the bottom. And by the way, I did sand them down, any rough areas, before I did all this. So now do that to both pieces. And now I'm just simply hot gluing the wood piece onto the top of the Santa bag. And now we're going to hot glue this piece, the other piece, onto the bottom of the bag. And by the way, I probably should have ironed this before I glued this all together. And I'm still going to try to iron it, but it's very wrinkly from the creases from it being folded up. So just cut off the excess top. And then this I got for $3.99 again at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. And this is Snowflake ribbon, and I thought it was so beautiful. And yeah, I splurged a little bit on ribbon because they had beautiful ribbon this year, and I just couldn't help myself. I have a ton of ribbon, but no, I had to go get more. But I think this Snowflake ribbon just like totally makes this sign or this wall hanging. And I glued it down with hot glue, and it was like every other snowflake with just a dab of hot glue. And that's kind of what it looks like. And so the back is open because it's a bag. And I have this sheer ribbon. I don't know where I got it from. I think this was actually from the Dollar Tree, but I thought it was really pretty. And so I opened the bag and stuck the ribbon down in there, hot glued it, and then pinched the bag together and glued it like that. And I did that to both sides. And then when you're done, just put some hot glue in the top of it to close the bag up. This was super simple and very quick and very inexpensive. And this is what it looks like hanging on my wall. This is the next project. This is a window, kind of like a window frame that you're looking out into the city. And here's all the things you're going to need. A bag of your choice. They have all kinds of different bags. I thought the snowman one would be really cool. Like you're looking outside and you're not snowman, I'm sorry, Santa Claus. Like you're looking outside and you're seeing Santa's sleigh. So you need 4 frames. So if you get these frames, they are one color, and if you get the ones that are drawn on the canvas from the Dollar Tree, they're a different color. I made the mistake and I had to go back. So get 4 of the same frames, and then 2 of those pieces from the Dollar Tree, and they should be the same color, and some Waverly Antique if you're going to stain it, or white chalk paint. If not, you can use for the curtains. I have this scarf from the Dollar Tree. Any scarf will do, and of course I got that bunch of ribbon again. So this is almost like an MDF kind of a frame, and it's not wood like the other canvases that are plain. But I thought this was kind of different, and you can't really stain this. So I'm going to paint this with white chalk paint. And this was really difficult to get these pieces off there. So you kind of really got to tear them. And I botched it up over there. So make sure you put it on the end because it's going to be hidden by the curtain. And so now I have 4 of them, and I'm just chalk painting it. And I'm going to make it kind of look like a farmhouse, an old farmhouse look where maybe the paint is rubbed off in a bunch of areas. And it takes a generous amount of paint. I only put 1 coat on, and I painted all sides, not the back, but the inside, the outside, and around the top of the frame. And you do that to all 4 of them. And now you take the bag, and I probably should have put matte Mod Podge on it because it's super shiny, and just cut the top part of the bag out. The sides are a little rough or uneven. It doesn't matter because we're going to put the curtains around it to hide it. So I did some E6000 on these frames, and I also hot glued them too together. And you don't have to paint the side if you know which way you're putting it together. So if they're going to be glued together on the inside, then you don't have to paint that. I hope you understand that. You know what I mean, because you won't see that. And then I couldn't find my little clamps were too small from the Dollar Tree, and they have bigger ones, and I couldn't find them. So I just zip-tied that together to hold it. And then I reinforced it again with some more hot glue. Don't hot glue the zip ties, or they might be permanent on there. And here's those pieces from the Dollar Tree. You can get them almost any season. I just had these left over from fall time. And you're going to want to hot glue them, and this is going to kind of be a shelf. Hot glue them together in E6000, reinforce it, and that's what it looks like. And now we're going to put this on the frame, and I want to make sure that it's centered, but also you can see that Santa Claus, kind of like you're looking through the window. You're up on top of a high building. Inside, you're looking out the window, and there's Santa's sleigh. So to make sure that I got it the way I wanted it, I just taped it in the picture. And then turn it around and make sure it was the way it was. Or it looked right, I mean, not the way it was. I'm getting a little ahead of here myself. And this is a scarf. It was probably not the best one to choose, but I don't know. It just kind of reminded me of like Christmas curtains, maybe. I don't know. I don't put Christmas curtains up in my house. I might hang a wreath from them, but I don't put curtains up there. But I thought this was, I don't know, just different. And it doesn't match the picture at all, but that was done purposely. So you're going to just hot glue a strip on the top there. And then you're going to make 2 panels for the sides. And the edges are rough from me cutting them. So I'm just folding up the edge and then hot gluing it. And I do that to both sides and to both panels. And then make sure that you measure it so both sides come down to hit the bottom of the frame. And this was really hard to keep in my camera view here. because it was so big. And those are the large canvas frames too. You can use any size you want. And so now I'm just going to glue these panels down underneath the top one, or underneath, you would probably call it a valance if it were a window treatment. And I do this to both sides. And so I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to pull that material tight and glue it onto the frame in the back, on the top and on both sides. So there's an owl over there, and I wanted to try to see the owl. You can't see it from here, but it was too close to the side, so I wasn't able to do it. But I definitely wanted to see Santa Claus. So I pulled that panel over as far over as I could, and then glued it up there so it stays so you can see most of the sleigh. And then I'm just going to tie a little, I don't know, piece of ribbon. I got this, it was from that big pack that I've showed you a couple times, around the sides, just like you're tying the curtain back. And I just glued it underneath on both sides, and I did it to both sides. You can put a bow there, you can use any kind of ribbon, and then I'm doing it to both sides, I guess. Got a little ahead of myself again with that bag. I'll show you that in a second. This is just the evergreen pieces, the single pieces from the Dollar Tree. You get a big pack of them. And I just made 2 of them into a circle. And I was going to hot glue it to the top of the frame, and I thought the middle of the frame was probably better. So glue both of them together just to make it look fuller. And then that bag had those little, what do you call it, like red balls in there. And I glued those on, and I glued a little ribbon on top, a little bow on top. And then there were the little holes from the bag up there that I took a Sharpie and I filled those in so you couldn't see them. And then now we are going to glue just a piece of this, what do you call it, felt that you get from the Dollar Tree, also on the top to hide that harvest, the harvest words. And that's what it looks like. I'm trying to get most of it in the frame to show you what I did. Now you can do this if you're doing it for a kid's room. You could do this with a snowman. You're just going to want to make sure that the bag is large enough for the frames, or the frames fit the bag, and you're going to want to make sure that, see where the hanger is, that the frames don't show the holes on the hanger and all that. You know what I'm talking about. So that's what it looks like, and this is the final, whew, this has been a long video for me. The final project, super simple. That little hangers from the Dollar Tree. These stencils are from Michael's. They were $3.99. I believe I got them for 50% off. I'm taking some white chalk paint, and I have these little dabbers from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just took the snowman stencil. There's a bunch of different ones in there, and stenciled them onto that. And then I'm making some snowflake buttons, and then I'm putting snowflakes and kind of like snow around him, kind of like he's in the middle of a snowstorm. And you can get colorful with this if you want. You can make his nose orange and color the buttons in different colors, and you know, whatever is to your liking. You can hang this up on the wall in a little space. You can hang this up on a tree if you like big ornaments. I just thought it was simple and cute, and that's it. Whew, it was a long video. Anyway, I just want to thank you and say Merry Christmas. And again, I'm Cheryl from Homeward Studio. I hope you enjoyed this and consider subscribing if you have not subscribed yet, because I have a lot more to go. Anyway, with all that said, bye. Have a blessed holiday season.